What's the deal, good people? It's your boy Jizzle, man. And I'm back. I know, I know. I've been gone for a minute. I had to take a month off because I had lucrative business going on that required much of my time. But I'm back. Sorry for the wait. So I'm returning with Boxing with Jizzle. I've been watching boxing, but I haven't been doing content on boxing. And I just want to recap on the biggest boxing event of lately before we get to the next biggest thing, which would be Canelo versus what's the Puerto Rican kid name? Doesn't matter. He's dead anyway. But we gonna talk about it. We gonna talk about the event that took place in Los Angeles at the BMO Arena, headlining Terrence Crawford and Madrimov, right? So we're gonna get into the earlier fights first. Starting out with Big Baby Anderson, the prospect, America's next heavyweight. So they say. I never believed it though. I never believed it. You know, in any sport, defense is vital. It's vital. If you look at anything, if you go look at basketball, defense is vital. If you go look at football, defense is vital. You know what I mean? It's very few sports where defense doesn't play a role. But in boxing, defense is vital. You have to protect yourself. You're being hit. So I seen early on when the hype around Big Baby Anderson first started coming out, I would say, well, the competition he's fighting, they don't know how to exploit his lack of defense. And when they was talking about him fighting people like Wilder, I'm like, well, you know, we see Wilder getting hurt by elites. But when it comes to this guy, his defense is so trash that I could see Wilder just coming straight down the middle with something and putting his lights out, turn the lights off fast, right? So I knew once he fought anybody who had a nice straight jab and a consistent jab and was going to come forward, he was going to be in trouble. He was going to be exposed, in which he was. You know, the African fighter. Like I said, I'm just getting back. I'm not good with names right now, but we're going to get the ball rolling. But, yeah, he stayed straight down the pipe. He stuck to his combinations. He stayed in front of Anderson. Anderson had nowhere to go. And, you know, I wasn't surprised. He was my underdog pick against Anderson. And he got me paid. But Anderson should not give up. This is not the end. You lose the cockiness. You go back to the drawing board. You get more trainers in the gym with you so you ain't a one-trick pony. You get that defense. You accept criticism and you get that defense right and you come back. You know, the Mayweather era is over. Let's stop counting fighters out because they take a L. He's still a dope boxer. Hopefully that experience humbled him and he can do what he said he was going to do. Go home with his daughter, spend time with his family. You know, I know he made some money, you know, get his peoples right, get back in the gym, go to the drawing board, and come back bigger, better, and stronger. You know what I mean? Because he got a bright future ahead of him. He just got taught a lesson. He had a humbling experience. He was very cocky and for no reason. And he had a humbling experience, but I'd like to see him back because he does have knockout power. He just need some tighten up with the defense, and he'll be all right. He'll be a future champion. Next, I want to talk about another fight that was on the card, which was another big baby, but the first big baby Miller, Jarrell Miller. And his fight against former world champion, first Hispanic heavyweight champion, Mexican heavyweight champion, should I say, Andy Ruiz. A lot of people had Andy Ruiz winning this fight because of his past history, him beating Anthony Joshua and becoming heavyweight champion of the world. But his layoff has been so long. I knew that him taking a fight like this, the ring rust would affect him. He looked fatigued, but he still got that dog in him. So at moments, in spurts, you would see him throwing vicious combinations at Big Baby. Vicious combinations. Look beautiful. But then he'd be tired after that, and you wouldn't get nothing from him from the rest of the round. And you would see Miller coming forward, letting his hands go, connections. Just as I've said in the past, Big Baby Miller got pillowcases for hands. His hands is pillows. He's the heavyweight that ain't gonna knock nobody out. So if he had knockout power, he would have stopped Andy Ruiz, but he had nothing there. And give credit to Andy Ruiz. He when they was in the clinch, he would throw combinations and get connections too. So I wasn't mad at the draw. Not at all. But I did have Big Baby Miller edging it. I feel like he should have got the win. But the draw wasn't a bad decision either. Because sometimes you got to be a little more convincing. You ain't going to just have a career of barely making it fights. You got to be a little more convincing sometimes. So I would like to see a rematch of that, honestly. I would like to see a rematch of that. I don't know about y'all. Maybe the casuals be like, nah, we don't want that. But I know boxing fans will probably like to see a rematch of that because they actually banged it out. It was a draw. I ain't mad at the draw, but I think he did edge it a little bit. That's enough of that, though. Hopefully, both of them guys can rebuild their careers and get themselves in a position for a title shot again. Because it looked like the heavyweight division is drying up, so we need these guys to be a little more active. There she go. And for the co-main event, the overhyped Pitbull Cruz, the casuals favored. Oh, he goes in there with Tank Davis. Survives 12 rounds, lose to a decision. And, he fought a Tank Davis that broke his hand in the earlier rounds. So he was fighting him with one hand and still beat him on the scorecards. This hype job would have never got hyped up if Tank didn't break his hand. He would have stopped him inside of 6 or 7 rounds. But because he survived the vicious Gervonta Davis, people pumped this hype job up. You got to look at his next big fight after Gervonta Davis. Rolly Romero. Trash. He fights Rolly Romero and look good as expected. It's Rolly Romero. So now this hype job is this Mexican fighter that everybody's supposed to be running from. See, what you got to understand is Shakur Stevenson sent him a contract. He turned the fight now, and he said himself that he wasn't ready for Shakur Stevenson. But them casuals don't pay attention to shit like that, right? I knew him fighting Ryu, he would lose. That's why I betted on that fight too. I knew him fighting Ryu, he would lose. Ryu is a fighter that can bang. He can punch. Heavy on the punches. He can knock you out. He can hurt you. He can stop you. But he's also a technician. A very dope technician. He spent a lot of time in camp with Jose Benavidez, Senior. I believe that's his name. Is he Jose Benavidez Senior? The daddy of David Benavidez. Great trainer. He spent a lot of time over there in that camp. And you can only imagine with such a good camp over there with them, how much he picked up over there. And then he goes over there to Camp Garcia. And, that's self-explanatory. This dude has never had a highlighted moment in his career, meaning they never put the spotlight on him. But he's one of them dudes, if you've been watching these undercard fights, he's good. This dude is legit an A-class fighter. I knew that Pitbull Cruz was a one-trick pony. He was going to come out with the aggression, No boxing skill, no sweet science at all, just all aggression. All aggression. And I knew that Ryu would pick him apart round by round, which he did. By the 7th round, Pitbull had nothing. It was nothing. He had no backup plan for nothing. He just in there throwing his biggest punches, looking crazy. So that wasn't no surprise to me either. So, but Pitbull Cruz has become a name now. The Mexican fans are behind him. So I don't think they're going to make him a lost fighter, put him to the back of the bus, fighting on undercards. And I think he's still at least a B- fighter at best. And these guys so young, it's room for improvement. Change the camp up, get different trainers in there, different sparring partners, and go back to the drawing board and make the adjustments and come back. That's what boxing is about. It ain't about writing the fighters off. It's about waiting for them to make the adjustments and come back better and be of competition to your opposition. You know what I mean? This that motherfucker, Ghost Candy. Smoking stupid. Yeah. The main event, Terrence Crawford versus Madrimov, right? I know the fans thought Terrence Crawford would come out and look amazing and knock Madrimov out or stop him, early stoppage. It didn't happen that way. Did it not happen that way because Madrimov is that good? No. Terrence could have stopped him, knocked him out, hurt him back. He could have. I believe he could have. I feel like Terrence Crawford in his career, he's had a big heart. He'll fight anybody. Give and take the politics, though, of them when they fight him. But he'll fight. We know that. He's a champion, true champion. But with what's going on, he's at a point in his career where he's kind of calling out legendary fights. You know what I mean? He wanted Charlo, which is a bigger, stronger fighter. I don't know if he's technically better than Crawford. I don't think so. But he's bigger and stronger. Sometimes you can win just off of that. But he wanted that fight. But unfortunately, Charlo was having some out-of-the-ring issues and currently not fighting. So that's not happening. So as of recently, he's chasing a fight with Canelo where he would move to 168 pounds. He's trying to be great. Canelo turned the fight down. He says nothing for him to gain and fighting a smaller Terrence Crawford that will be coming up in weight. He's right. If he beats Terrence Crawford, they're going to say that's what you were supposed to do. And then the risk is, if he's losing to Terrence Crawford, you are the almighty Canelo, and you let a dude coming up from 140 pounds to 147 pounds to 154 pounds come to 68 and beat you. He's a naturally 140-pounder. So all that plays a part. But I'm saying this to say that I truly believe that the politics in boxing outweigh talent and business, which business goes along with the politics, but politics is before business when it comes to boxing because you can't get the business right without these politics. I feel like Crawford went in there on cruise control. He didn't come to look his best. He came to win a fight. He came to look human. And after he looked human in that fight, because Madrimov touched him up a little bit, after he looked human in that fight, now Canelo is speaking like, there's a chance of fighting Crawford now. He said, if the money right, let's get it on. He wasn't saying that before he seen that last performance. And I would say David Benavidez might need to take a page out of old Crawford book if he want that Canelo fight. Go look human. Stop beating the shit out of niggas. Go look human, and you might get what you want. But if you represent a massive threat to the throne, to Saul Alvarez, old Cinnamon, Canelo, he ain't fighting you. So that's my take on that in those fights. I hope y'all enjoy this. Like, subscribe, get my views up. Check out my Instagrams. It's Boxing with Jizzle. And I'll see y'all next time.